welcome in or welcome back. It's a Monkey Mar. Before we get into today's video, please make sure you click that subscribe button, the like, and the bell for notification. Alright guys, and let's get into part 14 of the missing California City boys, Orrin and Orson West, aka Sincere and Classic. Let's touch on a few comments. I want to touch on John Walker's, the chief of police's last statement. And also let's touch on this article by Perla Shaheen. And with that, guys, let's get into it. Alright guys, I have a feeling that a lot of us are seriously losing focus. I think there are two situations. We've got a Department of Children and Family Services that are probably running a scam in their own way of placing children and where they place them and who they place them with. I think something's definitely going on with that. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, I do not think they have anything to do with what happened to the boys. Do I think that they placed them in a home too soon, or what they did regarding taking the kids from Ryan Dean and putting them in the home? Yeah, they might be at fault. But are they at fault for the kids disappearing? No. In my opinion, the adoptive parents, Trizelle and Jacqueline, are the ones that hold the key to everything. There are two situations here. They've collided, but we need to focus on where are the boys, when the boys were actually seen last, and where they went missing from. Let me get into this article real quick. Missing in California City, what we know about the disappearance of Orrin and Orson West. This article was written by Perla Shaheen. People have come to me saying that Perla is Jacqueline Vasquez's sister. She's not. She is an author to a newspaper. But the only part I am going to touch on in here is regarding Ryan Dean, because the rest is repetitive. Orrin and Orson were born in Bakersfield. Their mom is Ryan Dean. She gave the boys their birth names, Sincere and Classic. Their last names were Pettis. She says, I was living fine with them before they came and got them. A small incident happened. CPS took the boys near the beginning of 2018. I was at work. I noticed my baby's cry wasn't normal. When I got home and I took him straight to the hospital, Dean said they say his femur bone was broken and twisted. The baby she's talking about is Orrin West. He had a broken thigh bone. Now, this is not the lower bone. This is the upper bone. So people are speculating that his lower left leg had a broken bone. It's the thigh bone. It's the upper bone above the knee. But Dean said she didn't know how it happened. The last time she saw her boys was at the end of 2018. You ask yourself, if that was the last time she saw the boys, how did the Christmas presents get to the boys in 2019 from Ryan Dean? She says, I have a good background. I don't have a police record, and I've never been in jail. So yes, them taking the babies out and adopting them out to a family that actually probably was not qualified to have them and changed their names completely. Yes, I totally agree that something is not right with that picture and it needs to be investigated. But that can always be investigated. The priority is these 3-year-old and 4-year-old little boys that are missing. I would be camping in front of the West's house every day and every night. I would make them feel so uncomfortable that they wouldn't want to leave the house. All right, let's get into John Walker's interview. Okay, you see what her name is? Perla Shaheen. The one that was in that transcript. She is an anchor woman on KGET 17 News. So basically, people are wondering how the reward for the missing boys will be paid or split up. So let's listen to what John Walker says.
Promising money is basically pledging money, and they're going to, distribute that money however they see fit. Parameters are for someone to collect that money.
So basically, all of the money is pledged by word except for the city. So rewards not requiring conviction and arrest are the extended adoptive family, which is probably Jamal for $30K, traditional company $20K, Greenstone Cannabis $10K, Preferred Towing $10K, West Coast Realty $10K, Ron and Smith Victory Baptist $10K, YouTuber Duty Ron $2K. Big shout out to Duty Ron. And then we've got rewards requiring conviction and arrest, California City $25K, and Murphy's Pool and Spa $5K. So I think the reward would be there, but I'll tell you what, I would go out if I could and knew what those boys were, and I would do it for free. Let's focus on where are the boys, when they really went missing, and where they went missing from. I would love to know the fact on that information. Let's just touch on this quick article regarding the welfare system. Community demands changes in child welfare system as search for missing Cal City toddlers continues. The Department of Human Services cares about children and families, and we join the community in wishing for the safe return of the missing children. On Friday, the search for answers regarding the disappearance of 2 boys in California City continued. Several community members gathered in Bakersfield for a march demanding changes to the child welfare system. I totally agree. Change needs to be made, and I still have to wonder how these boys ended up being adopted out that quick. Something's definitely wrong, but I do not think that I don't know. I'll tell you my thoughts during the comments. Orson and Orrin reportedly went missing from the home of their adoptive parents in California City nearly 2 months ago. A representative from the Department of Human Services responded to Friday's march saying, "The Department of Human Services cares about children and families, and we join the community in wishing for the safe return of missing children." California City Police are still actively investigating the case, but no suspects have been named. Anyone with information is asked to call them at, I'll drop the number in the description. But they went back to that house multiple times. And like when they're leaving here with these brown bags full of something, I would like to know what was in those bags and if it is anything of substantial evidence or if it's not. They're definitely holding a tight lip on this case. Alright, let me look at these with you guys. I have never seen these before. I honestly do not know exactly what they mean, but the filing dates are 5/15/2017. We have another judgment on 2/13/2017. Obviously, that's the same one. There's one back in August 5th, 2014. So, Orrin and Orson, 3 and 4. So, they were born 2018, 2017. AX Abstract of Support Judgment, Department of Child Services. Now, I do not know if that is maybe somebody not paying her child support. I have looked up the AX Abstract of Support Judgment, and it was something about a lien towards a house, or I'm not sure, maybe somebody in California knows exactly what these mean. But then I started thinking, she has more children than Orrin and Orson, Sincere and Classic. Looks like she has an older boy. She's got a girl, if you've looked at her Facebook page. Alright, let's touch on these polls. I know that I did 2 of them, but unfortunately, I don't know if I can touch on all the comments. But 2 days ago, I did a poll and I asked, are we losing focus? Let's say, for example, DCF is running a scam out in Bakersfield. Is that as important as finding the boys? Do you think DCF had anything to do with the West boys' disappearance? Disregard if they are running a scam placing children. That's not right, but losing focus. Or are the APs solely responsible for the boys? 304 votes. Ooh, that makes me happy. 84% said the APs are responsible. 6% said the DCF, and 10% said other in the comments. So let's touch on a few of these comments. Alright, Kimberly Brown Diaz, APs are ultimately responsible, but they wouldn't have had them if not for DCFS. I agree. I totally agree, there is something foul in that system. Beagle Mama, APs are responsible, but an investigation into how and why they were placed with the West needs to happen at some point. Totally agree. If we don't fix DCF, there will be many more missing kids. Baseball Mama. I mean, it's just, in my opinion, weird that 1 kid gone, but 2 kids gone? Something's just not right, and I think that Trezell West knows exactly what happened. So, Kimby, truth is, we don't know all the facts yet. You're absolutely correct. Spirit Force accessions, if by California statute states that they did not wait a long enough period to foster and then adopt, then DCFS is responsible, if not both are responsible. Because the AM and the AD should have known their rights and regulations to adoption, they should have read policies and procedures before signing on the dotted line, just being brutally honest. Now, I agree, but at the end of the day, what I'm saying, in my opinion, is that, let's just say the adoption went legal, which I don't believe it did. If you go back to a prior video, you see that it's kind of very easy to adopt a child in Bakersfield, and it's up to the social worker where that child is placed. And Mary Martins, in my opinion, the adoptive parents are responsible. CPS is also responsible for putting those precious babies with those people. First, babies need to be found, then those responsible need to be held accountable. Justice for those 2 boys, Orrin and Orson. I agree. The adoptive parents are responsible since the boys was in their care. Yesterday's today. Suzanne Sumner, I blame CPS. They take children from loving homes, praying for the boys. Yeah, after reading what Mom Ryan Dean said about how it happened and how quickly it happened, I mean, it's definitely a little mind-blowing. And the fact that they changed those boys' names, and they were already, 2 and 3 at the time? Now 3 and 4? Yeah. Kind of like, where is Jacqueline's real birth certificate, unless the Martinez one is her real birth certificate? And where is Trezell's? Where is Wanda and Philip's marriage certificate? I don't know. Something is definitely up with that whole entire situation, but I do not think it has a connection with the boys going missing, except for they put the boys in the home with them, and I think it happened really fast. Something is definitely wrong with the system. Rhonda Booth, APs are responsible, but I think more are involved as well. Possibly, completely, could be right. Christy Flatley, totally APs and feel like they're rubbing their dirty little palms together as they seem to have got away with it. I don't think they're going to get away with it if they have anything involved. Don't seem to be the sharpest tools in the shed. Yeah. Pamela Hewlett, we don't know what has happened to the boys or even when they went missing exactly. If it was the AP, then whoever allowed them to get certified for fostering and ultimately allowed them to adopt without making absolutely sure the boys were happy and thriving in their new family should not feel great about themselves. But unless there is some probable trafficking of children going on, it's unlikely anything will be done about it. I do not think that Orrin and Orson were trafficked. I think Trezell did something, if maybe to one, and then something to the other to cover up his mess. That is what my gut tells me. Nicolette Moore, I don't think social services has anything to do with their disappearance. We really don't know what happened to the children. Lots of what we think is based on emotions. I agree. E&A all around, yes, they need investigation, period. DCF, oh, they definitely need to be investigated. Stephanie, APs are responsible. They were trusted to look after the boys. But how they get them when they had two already, but I guess the boys going missing is an eye-opener to a lot of things. Where are the boys? No boys, no peace. Amen, Stephanie. Exactly. Jacqueline K., right now the focus needs to be on finding Orrin and Orson. We only know what we know. The adoptive parents are responsible. Maybe DCF didn't follow protocol or ignored red flags and allowed the APs to foster and adopt. Right now, the possible corruption in DCF should be on the back burner until these babies are found. Then a proper investigation into the specifics of why and how they were approved to foster and adopt. Jacqueline K., that is exactly what I have been trying to say. You worded that perfect, in my opinion. Matt Black, UK, there's my buddy. Hey, Matt. Keep doing what you do, Monkey Mar. Aw, thank you, Matt. Alice Ayres, other, both responsible, who gives boatloads of kids to these jobless wonders. A social worker that is either a family member or a very good friend. I think the social workers and these fast adoptions need to be investigated. Tony Shields, I'd like to know who the guy on the street was that Trezell claimed he spoke to on the night he went looking for the boys. The guy must have been in close proximity as Trezell was only gone 6 minutes. I don't know, maybe AV Watchman, United We Stand, knows. The only one I know about is him running across and talking to the cop. And Jessica, Sierra, why aren't the birth parents responsible for not being able to care for their children? Well, that's a good question, but I honestly think that Ryan Dean got the short end of this stick. If what she said happened while she was at work is the truth. Because they took those kids quick. I mean, for one offense, and they adopt them out that quick, and then the adoptive parents changed their name. Yeah, some fishy crap going on. Maria Palomba, I believe they are both responsible, DCF, by having disgusting standards and the AP for actually having committed a crime. What I think happened is that either Trezell or Jacqueline have killed one of the boys while disciplining them, so the other had to go too. Now they're covering their tracks. I don't think they have been sold or kidnapped. I think it all started with an accident and the AP's lack of integrity did the rest. Amen, Maria Palomba. I agree with you 1,000,000%. Biofamily is involved. A Carpe Diem, absolutely. Patria Ryder, AV has new info on lead detective on the case. Yeah. You gotta give AV Watchman United We Stand some props, man. When he was out there with the bullhorn, I was like, put a bulletproof vest on. Erica Hart, both are responsible. Yes, they are, because it's a chain reaction. Without a without the CPS's lack of whatever, and social workers that are helping friends for money reasons or packing kids in, I don't know. I hope they get to the bottom of that. But this is a really, really sticky situation across the board. Tiffany Guzman, I think both. Yep. I love that name, Indica Cookies. I love Indica in the couch. She says both. Him, her, I'm sorry. Both. Alright, that's it with these comments. Let's go touch on that other poll real quick. Okay, so this was the second poll. Well, actually the first poll I did about a week ago, and I asked, when do you think the West Boys, Orrin and Orson, went missing? I got 90 votes, and 88% said before the APs moved to California City. 5% said December 21st, like the APs said. And then 7% different, and I said to ask me in the comments. You know what, guys? I am actually planning a live for probably this weekend. I'm thinking probably Sunday. Monday in Australia, but I want to go over and talk about the comments and things like that and see where people stand. Maybe do like an open panel and just throw some things around, but I do want to read this comment because this one is where I talk about the social workers. Joanne Schlicker said, I think someone in the social services was going to visit the kids, so they had to invent a reason they aren't there. Or is the social worker a good friend or a family member and could report what they wanted? See, that's where the BS ties together with the boys being put with this family. It was all about the social worker who gets the case. Who is the social worker on the Orrin and Orson case? That's who needs to be spoken to. That's who needs to be found, in my opinion. I don't mean stalked or harassed or any of that, but just sit down and talk to her, maybe. I don't know. It's definitely connected together that caused the boys to go missing, but I think good old Trezell West holds that key, guys. So if something happened to one child, why were both of those children taken out of her house, Orrin and Orson, and why were children left in her house? Yeah, something's not right, guys. This is such a rabbit hole that it's just getting deeper and deeper and deeper. On this picture above from Ryan's Facebook, she says, what is wrong with my son in this picture? She circles his ear and around his mouth. I'm not sure around his mouth what she sees, but his face to me says it all. He just looks like he is a sad, sad boy. But when you look at Orson, he doesn't have that sad look. Maybe they picked on Orrin. Trezell picked on Orrin. Because I'll tell you what, this face right here, and I took this picture from Plunder, and I'll attach her link down below, but most of you know who she is. These eyes, to me, say it all. I believe that this man is responsible for what happened to those little boys. And then I heard that somebody brought up maybe they were on meth. I don't know if they do meth, but usually when you do meth, your mouth and teeth show it. So I don't know if that is considered a meth mouth or what. Make sure you guys drop them comments and Sorry for another long video, but with that, guys, it is a wrap. I want to thank you all for coming in. Thank you for watching. Please like or dislike, whichever you prefer, and subscribe. Everyone have a good day or a good night wherever you are in the world, and stay vigilant. I am out.